Anyway, speaking of Garth guys, we can get into Kyle Okposo, one win away from the Stanley Cup. I'm very happy for Kyle Okposo, although unfortunately they did not get the sweep as they got their doors blown off in Game 4, 8-1.
Yeah, my buddy at the bachelor party was like, "So what do you think is going to happen today?" And I was like, they're gonna get, it's done. Edmonton is done. He's like, I don't know, I can see them coming back and doing something like a big win. Okay, sure. Throughout the night, he's like, "If you check the score," and I was like, "No, I'm not paying attention. I'm trying not to do any work," type of thing. And then finally, I'm like, "All right, fine, I'll check the score. 8-1. What the hell happened here? What happened?
Yeah.
Where did Bobrovsky go all of a sudden?"
So I was talking with you off the air yesterday or 2 days ago at the time of recording this. A Saturday was Taylor and I's anniversary. So like our plan was we went to dinner, and like early in the day I was like, hey, like I'm not saying we gotta like rush back or anything, but I was like after we get back from dinner, like is it cool if like I toss on the cup final? And she was like, yeah, like sure, whatever. And I talked, explained like Kyle Okposo, like he has a chance to win the Stanley Cup, and he was one of my favorite Islanders. We got back, and by the time I looked at the score, I'm like, we don't need to turn this game on. Like we could do something. I think it was 4-1 at that point, something, and it was still very early in the game. Like, yeah, this we don't have to turn this on.
On, off.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so he's close. He had the fun comment the other day, right? Talking about how loud their home crowd was, made him feel like the Coliseum again.
Yeah.
Which was dope.
So that was humble brag. That was my
You were there.
That was my first ever Islanders playoff game.
Was that the one you scraped your knuckles on the Coliseum ceiling?
No, that was Game 3, 2015. Tavares overtime winner versus pass Holtby, which was like 9 seconds into the period. No, that was not. But that was a crazy game because it was high scoring, went to overtime. But that was the first time they made the playoffs since 2007.
That sounds right.
Yeah, so the crowd they were amped up. They were ready. It was I believe it was Mother's Day. It was a Sunday matinee game. So I remember me and my buddy, we got there at like 8:39 in the morning, but apparently but people were there. The story that Kyle Okposo said in his Players Tribune article when he left was that they woke up in the Marriott to Let's Go Islanders chants at like 7 o'clock in the morning. But like just that atmosphere all day, place was rocking. It was, man, I love UBS Arena. I really, really do. I'm thrilled that the Islanders ended up there. I'm still very, very nostalgic and will have very fond memories of the playoffs at Nassau Coliseum. They're just a completely different environment. Hard to compare anything to that.
Absolutely. So good on him for bringing that up, type of thing. Right? You can tell it really meant a lot to him, obviously.
Sure.
Why else would you just bring that up randomly? Oh, yeah, it felt like the Coliseum, right? Like he's doing it for lulz. No, man, that really sat with him. And it sat with all of us. I've never been to a playoff game at the Coliseum, but I went to the Tavares game at the Coliseum.
That's as close to playoff. I mean, it wasn't a playoff game, but I would say that was playoff-like atmosphere. So that's a good representation.
So loud.
Yeah.
Right. So I can only imagine what it was during the playoffs when the emotion gets dialed up to 10 for the entire game, and not just when that one player is out on the ice.
Yeah.
Or whenever we score, because we won. Was it 5-1 that game, or was it 4-1 or 4-2? Either way,
6-2, something like that. They scored a bunch of goals.
Yeah. Casey Zizekas breakaway is all I remember. It was nuts. It was insane. So I could only imagine what it's like in the playoffs when it's dialed up to 10 and even 11 throughout the entire thing. So good on him. But it made us ask, like, what is our favorite Kyle Okposo moment with the Islanders? And for me, like, there are many, obviously, but the one that always comes up, and I think I've mentioned it before, is after the Team USA snub.
Yep.
And he goes out there against Chicago, puts up a primary assist on... So he scored the first one. Who the freak was it? Vanek who scored the second one? I think Vanek scored the second
goal. I think you're right.
And then overtime, he just rifles it in. Oh, and then the USA chants. I'm not even American, and I was like, "That's right, damn you." I guess maybe it's because I'm not American, and so I could be like, "Ah, you made a mistake, you jerks!" Ha ha.
They did. Anyway. They did make a mistake. That was awesome. He had a huge game. He was unreal that year. He had 69 points in 71 games that season. And that as we know,
the year Tavares was out for most of it.
Yeah, Tavares got hurt in the Olympics, and he, like, Kyle Okposo was the Islanders' offense that entire season.
Yeah, it's insane. Friggin' my God. So yeah, that's my favorite Kyle Okposo moment. I'm sure some of you have different ones. Do you have one?
That was also gonna be mine. That was really cool.
I got another one.
Okay.
So when we worked for Eyes on Isles, we hadn't been long on the beat, and when Kyle Okposo left in free agency, right? Or what? He left, but it's more so the Islanders didn't re-sign him, so he had to leave, type of thing, right? Because he wanted to stay. Anyways, and one of our writers, Jen, wrote an article about Kyle Okposo and thanking him for his time in his service, and he went and like thanked her specifically for, like, read it, liked it, thanked us. And I was like, you don't see that from players. They'll just like it and be like, keep that to themselves. He went and out of his way, type of thing. And that was amazing. It was super cool.
If you like that, make sure to subscribe to Up the Turnpike on Patreon for more exclusive New York Islanders content.